Welcome to our channel. Today we journey back to a period of great upheaval and transformation in Europe, a time when the very foundations of power were shaken. This is the story of Napoleon Bonaparte, a man of humble origins who rose to become one of the most powerful rulers the world has ever known. From the sun-drenched island of Corsica to the gilded halls of Paris, we'll trace the extraordinary trajectory of Napoleon's life. Join us now as we delve into the epic saga of Napoleon Bonaparte, a man who left an indelible mark on history. Our story begins on the rugged island of Corsica, a place known for its fierce independence. It was here, in Ajaccio, that Napoleon Bonaparte was born in 1769. His family, while not impoverished, belonged to the lower rungs of the Corsican nobility. From a young age, Napoleon displayed a sharp intellect and an even sharper temper. He excelled in his studies, particularly mathematics and history, subjects that would later serve him well on the battlefields of Europe. His Corsican heritage instilled in him a strong sense of ambition and a yearning for greatness. At the age of 9, Napoleon was sent away to attend military school in mainland France. Imagine this young boy, uprooted from his family and sent to a foreign land where he had to navigate a new language and culture. It was a lonely and often difficult experience, but it was here that the seeds of Napoleon's military genius were sown. He immersed himself in the study of military strategy, devouring the works of great military thinkers like Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar. He learned the art of warfare, not just on the parade ground but also in the classroom, where he honed his tactical skills. Napoleon's time at military school coincided with a period of great turmoil and change in France. The French Revolution had ignited a firestorm that would consume the old order. The monarchy was crumbling, and the streets of Paris ran red with the blood of revolutionaries and aristocrats alike. Amidst this chaos, Napoleon saw an opportunity to rise through the ranks. He joined the French army as a young artillery officer, his ambition burning brighter than ever. The French Revolution had plunged France into a state of near constant warfare. Across Europe, monarchies looked upon the revolution with fear and disdain, sensing a threat to their own power. Armies marched, alliances shifted, and the fate of nations hung in the balance. It was in this cauldron of conflict that Napoleon Bonaparte, the young Corsican artillery officer, would forge his legend. He possessed an almost preternatural understanding of artillery tactics, recognizing its devastating potential. Assigned to the army of Italy, Napoleon found himself amidst the towering peaks and verdant valleys of northern Italy. It was here that he would truly make his mark, leading his troops to victory after victory against the Austrians and their allies. One battle in particular, the siege of Toulon, would catapult Napoleon into the spotlight. French royalist forces, backed by the British, had taken control of the strategically vital port city. The revolutionary government in Paris was desperate to retake Toulon, and Napoleon, though still a relatively junior officer, saw an opportunity to distinguish himself. He devised a daring plan, recognizing the importance of capturing the high ground overlooking the harbor. Under his command, French artillery batteries rained down a relentless barrage on enemy positions, paving the way for a decisive infantry assault. Toulon fell, and Napoleon, hailed as a hero, was promoted to the rank of brigadier general at the age of just 24. Word of his tactical genius spread like wildfire through the ranks of the French army. Soldiers under his command were inspired by his courage and his ability to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. But Napoleon's ambition was far from satisfied. By 1799, France was weary. Years of revolution and war had left the country exhausted and deeply divided. The government, known as the Directory, was weak and corrupt, unable to provide stability or leadership. The French people yearned for a strong hand to guide them out of the chaos. Napoleon Bonaparte, fresh from his triumphs in Italy and Egypt, sensed an opportunity. He had witnessed firsthand the failings of the Directory, and he believed that he, and he alone, possessed the strength and vision to restore order to France. The stage was set for a bold and audacious power grab. On November 9th, 1799, a date that would become known as the 18th Brumaire in the French Republican calendar, Napoleon, with the support of key allies in the military and government, staged a coup d'état. The coup was swift and bloodless. Napoleon, a master of propaganda and political maneuvering, outmaneuvered his opponents, persuading the legislature to grant him extraordinary powers as First Consul of France. With this single, decisive act, Napoleon Bonaparte seized control of the French government, effectively ending the French Revolution and ushering in a new era. He had achieved what just a few years earlier would have seemed unthinkable. The son of a minor Corsican nobleman was now the most powerful man in France. But seizing power was just the first step. Napoleon faced the daunting task of rebuilding a nation ravaged by years of turmoil. He needed to heal the wounds of revolution, restore order and stability, and establish his legitimacy both at home and abroad. He moved swiftly and decisively, implementing a series of reforms that centralized power, streamlined the government, and established a new legal code, the Napoleonic Code. Napoleon's ambition knew no bounds. On December 2nd, 1804, the Grand Cathedral of Notre in Paris witnessed an event of immense historical significance. In a ceremony brimming with pomp and symbolism, Napoleon Bonaparte, the self-made ruler of France, crowned himself Emperor of the French. Imagine the scene, the cathedral adorned with banners and tapestries, the air thick with incense, the assembled dignitaries from across Europe. Napoleon, dressed in a lavish coronation robe, approached the altar where Pope Pius VII sat, awaiting to place the crown upon his head. But in a gesture that sent shockwaves through the stunned audience, Napoleon took the crown from the Pope's hands and placed it upon his own head. With this act, Napoleon declared to the world that his authority came not from divine right, but from his own achievements and the will of the French people. The coronation marked the culmination of Napoleon's meteoric rise to power. He had gone from an unknown artillery officer to the absolute ruler of France in just over a decade. He had brought stability and order to a nation on the brink of chaos, and he had embarked on an ambitious program of reform and expansion. But Napoleon's coronation also marked a turning point in his relationship with the French people. No longer the champion of the revolution, he was now an emperor, a title that evoked memories of the old monarchy. The French people had embraced Napoleon as their savior, but would they accept him as their emperor? Only time would tell. One thing was certain: Napoleon's coronation had profound implications not just for France, but for the whole of Europe. With France secure under his rule, Napoleon turned his attention to his enemies abroad. He dreamed of establishing a French empire that would rival the Roman Empire of old, an empire that would stretch from the shores of the Atlantic to the steppes of Russia. And so began a period of almost constant warfare, as Napoleon led his armies to victory after victory across the battlefields of Europe. His military campaigns became the stuff of legend, studied by military strategists to this day. From the sun-drenched plains of Italy to the snow-covered fields of Russia, Napoleon's armies clashed with the combined might of Europe's great powers. He faced down coalitions of Austria, Prussia, Russia, Great Britain and others, often outnumbered but never outmaneuvered. Names of battles like Austerlitz, Jena and Friedland became synonymous with Napoleon's military genius. He employed innovative tactics such as the massed use of artillery and the rapid movement of troops to overwhelm his enemies. His soldiers, inspired by his leadership and motivated by the promise of glory and plunder, fought with ferocious courage and determination. Napoleon's victories brought not only territorial expansion but also immense wealth and prestige to France. He redrew the map of Europe, installing his relatives and allies on the thrones of conquered nations. For a time it seemed as if nothing could stop Napoleon's relentless advance. And so we come to the end of our journey through the extraordinary life of Napoleon Bonaparte, a man who rose from obscurity to conquer much of Europe, only to see his empire crumble around him. Napoleon's legacy is a complex and contradictory one. He was a ruthless conqueror responsible for countless deaths and immense suffering, yet he was also a brilliant military strategist, a skilled administrator and a visionary leader who left an indelible mark on Europe. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more captivating stories. See you next time.